Hey everybody, so the topic for today is first date rules. Some people have no rules for a first date. I developed mine after being single for a year and just kind of seeing like how guys worked and the type of guys that I was going after. And I mean, I messed around for like a year. And then when I realized I was gonna like really wanted to find somebody, I set up rules for myself. And my number one rule is that I don't kiss on the first date. I won't. If it's an actual date, like, because that's the thing, is like I went on dates, but they weren't like, I wasn't going to get serious with the guy. It was just kind of like, okay, I'm bored, let's go hang out and whatever, if whatever happens, happens. But when I realized I wanted a relationship, I did set that rule, and I think it's a good rule to have, and I'm upfront and honest about it. Like, I think I went on a couple dates before I actually met Paul, and I set that rule for myself, and, you know, you either like it or you don't, and I feel like if a guy is going to respect your wish, then he's good to go. And Paul did. Paul was totally like, I feel you. I totally understand. And I told him second date, you know, if there's a second date, different story, you know. And on our second date we did. And it was a very like respectful kiss, like short and sweet, which was perfect. You know, it wasn't like a big long makeout session, which I loved. It was just, he was so respectful. And I just think that's how it should be, you know, when you're trying to really develop a relationship with somebody. So that's my number one rule, is I do not kiss on the first date. Wow. Bella just jumped up on the windowsill. The other rule, makeup. I don't think it's appropriate. I mean, this is just my opinion, and this is how I've always been. I feel like on a first date, less is more. I don't want to put on like a gallon of makeup and have someone experience like me all dolled up and then see me later with like just my, you know, my eyebrows done and my mascara, and they're like, oh God, you know, like what happened? So with Paul, I basically just did this. I did my eyebrows, I did my mascara, and I left it. I didn't put any eyeliner on. That was it, because I wanted him to see me as natural as possible. And even then, I hardly wear makeup as it is. I think I mentioned it in my last video. It's, you know, rare for me to actually sit there and like really go into detail unless I'm actually going out somewhere nice. That's when I will. But I kept it as natural as possible. I also think outfits are important. You don't want to show too much. I wore, you know, you pick a body part that where did I learn this? I don't even remember where I learned this. Pick a part of your body that you would like, that you find flattering about you, and you show that part off. Not like all of it, but enough to where it's like, oh, you know, she has nice legs, so maybe you show your legs, you know, or you wear like shorts, or, you know, wherever you guys are going. On our first date, it was kind of cloudy, so I wore jeans and a little tank top, so I just showed like a little, a little tiny bit of cleavage, because I do have rather large boobs, and a jacket, and I left my hair down. And that was fine, and that's what I was comfortable showing. On other dates, I went on, like, I wore, like, a full-on long-sleeve shirt and, like, shorts, because I wanted to show my legs. But I tried to stay as conservative as possible, because I want them to focus on me, not my body. There was another rule I had. Oh, this is just me being weird. I don't like to go out to eat on the first date. I think, like, I've always been nervous to eat in front of guys, and so I feel like it's more comfortable when you, like, go out and do something, and it's not, like, awkward, you know? I think, like, Paul and I, it's kind of awkward, like, because we went to the movies for our first date, and so it's, like, you don't really get to talk to that person a whole lot, except for, like, in the car. But in our situation, it worked, but normally, as a rule, like, I'd like to go out and do something and just kind of make it so we can talk and get to know each other, not sit there and stare at each other eat, or, you know, be in a movie theater. But we both like scary movies, and so we really wanted to see this scary movie, so that's what we did. And everything worked out fine. But what's another rule that I have? I don't know. Oh, normally especially when it's someone that, like, because Paul and I met online, and shockingly enough, he was the only guy, because I'd gone out with like one other guy from online, and I met up with him. I didn't let him pick me up, because I don't know this person. But with Paul, I actually let him pick me up. And I was freaked out about it, but I knew where he lived, and I told my mom everything. I was like, he lives down the street. He, you know, this is what he does for a living. This is the kind of car he drives. Like, I was panicking. Because you can never be too careful. You know, I'm a woman. You never know what's going to happen. So, that was one of my rules, but I kind of broke that with Paul. Normally, I wouldn't, and I wouldn't recommend it, especially if you're meeting someone online. Now, with online dating, meeting people online, I feel like the pictures that girls post online, just from what I've seen, because I was on quite a few dating sites, just trying to find somebody, girls tend to post, like, the sexiest pictures they can find. Guys get the wrong impression when it comes to that. I feel like they see, like, oh, well, she's just hot, you know? It's like, you want them to think, like, oh, she's pretty, and, like, actually read about you. And I remember I was getting a lot of guys, like, sending me pictures in their underwear, like 40-year-old men in tighty whities, not even saying hello, just like, hey, like, just that. And I'm like, ew, it's disgusting. And so finally I put in my profile, I don't like to be talked to like I'm a walking vagina. And that got Paul's attention, because he was like, whoa, she's serious. She's not just like on here to mess around. She really wants to find somebody. And he was a little intimidated, but I'm glad that I actually started talking to him first. I said hi first, and then he reciprocated, but he was a little intimidated by that comment, but you know, he took it seriously. He realized that, you know, okay, she's not that type of girl. And the pictures that I posted had little to no makeup, and it was pictures of my face, not of my boobs or my body or whatever. I just did the basic. I just feel like I said, less is more, always. That's just how I feel. I feel like guys get the wrong impression when you post more and when you show more, and I don't want that. I see a lot of girls do stuff like that and then complain like, oh, you know, this guy's a jerk and all guys want is this. No, you're just, it's the way you do things. And people can disagree with me, but that's just what I believe, and what's worked for me is less is more. And I feel like I don't need a ton of makeup to be pretty, or, you know, wearing next to nothing for a guy to get a guy's attention. I'm just me, and that's it, you know? And I feel like with Paul, if, you know, I like it because it's like I have someone that I can be sexy for, and he gets that, and I don't have to flaunt myself all over the internet, because I do know girls who do that right now, and they have boyfriends and they post like half-naked pictures, and it's like, why are you doing that? You know, you don't need to do that. So, I don't know. That's just how I feel. Those are my rules and little dating tips. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys found that interesting, or whatever. Bye, guys.